Hi everyone, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, depending from which part of the planet you are joining us. It's Data Centurials time again. Hey my friend Tom, nice to see you.
Yes, sure. And uh, it looks like that I configured everything correctly because your head did not explode because of the echo following the live stream on my iPad. Ha!
Yeah, just for the context for everyone who just joined, we were discussing before going live if Tom's configuration and setup uh, co- will produce some kind of mess in our stream, but so far it looks good. Yeah.
Probably
Don't touch anything. Don't touch. Just sit there and talk about fabric. And yeah,
will
don't
do.
don't press anything. Don't touch anything. Okay.
So,
So my friend, yes, as we already announced, and as all the people who are watching this probably know, there was a fabric conference almost 2 weeks ago now.
what? Really? There was a fabric conference?
Were you
Oh,
sleeping last few months or weeks?
how could I miss this?
Never mind. You're in the right place. So even if you miss that, you will be covered here. So that's the idea.
This is great. So this is great.
Awesome. Yeah. So as I mentioned, there was a Fabric conference number 2 in Vegas. Uh, first few days of April, many incredible announcements. I was surprised to see so many things announced since we know that build is coming very soon again. But yeah, what are your first impressions, first thoughts in general? So before
So
we dive into specific things.
so I was considering going to MVP Summit or to the FabCon. And for whatever reason, I happily decided going to the MVP Summit. So missing this FabCon. And it was the second conference in the US and basically the third conference, FabCon. And if I remember correctly, almost 6,500 attendees. So I am a little bit torn. Still, was my decision correct or not? Because it would have been epic, be one of these 6,501 then attendees and all interested in this FabCon thingy. So this is something, but still, I I did some work and my next blog article will be a summarization of all the announcements put into a, a different context. So, meaning context development, optimization, things like that. And I'm still not done digesting, sorting out all this stuff. It was tremendous.
Yeah. First of all, I'm very looking forward to reading your blog. I know you.
I feel
Are,
some pressure.
you don't. You shouldn't because you are a great writer and you're great in breaking down these complex topics. So I really enjoy always reading your articles, and I'm sure that everyone will get a better understanding of all these features after they read this blog post. So no pressure at all.
So, okay. So,
But yeah,
if someone tells me looking forward, but don't feel any pressure, maybe the opposite is happening. But I will try to.
okay, yeah, fair enough. And another thing that I wanted to mention is that we when we were talking about making this live stream and covering the announcements from FabCon, we didn't expect that there will be so many additional announcements after the FabCon. So basically, in the last week or so, I saw I don't know how many additional announcements, additional features, and so on. I was joking, I think, with you when I opened my LinkedIn. feed, it's Alex Powers everywhere. Like, we just announced that, we just did that. This is going to public preview. This is going to GA and so on. So uh, I think we need to do another stream just for the announcements after FabCon announcements.
So I was just looking at my little RSS reader, and it looks like it's 12 or 13 announcements, or let's call it blog articles, um, after the 2nd of April. And I consider 2nd of April last day of FabCon. So
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so yeah, maybe we can dive into talking about some features and announcements that two of us are most excited about. When I say two of us, it doesn't necessarily mean that both of us are excited about the same features, but yeah,
so
let's
so
kick it off and see how it goes.
so I think both of us are excited about the same features, but probably with a different degree of excitement, considering zero meaning absolutely not excited. I do not care, also as a degree of excitement. So,
Yeah, but that's why we are here. Maybe you will help me to increase my level of excitement.
and once again, I feel some.
Once again, so for example, if I have zero excitement for Terraform, I
Yeah.
would like you to convince me why this level of excitement should go to at least zero point 0.5.
So then we have to consider ranging level or thingies from level of excitement should be um, zero. I do not care, brackets, at least not for the moment, from 0 to 5. So and now I try to up level your excitement from 0 to 0.5 for this Terraform thingy. So Terraform means um, um, it's infrastructure as code. So and
Before, sorry for
now
interrupting you, just to answer high up high, just to answer the question from the audience. Yes, it's getting recorded. It will stay on our YouTube channel. And absolutely, thanks for joining. And yeah, we would also like to hear your opinions after we discuss some of the features. Yeah,
so
sorry, Tom. Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, no, and please not just put in your opinion. Maybe if you add something about this infrastructure as code, maybe then also Nicolas' excitement for this
Goes
thing
to
will
one.
level up, goes to 1 from 0 to 1. So um, considering a workspace as a part of infrastructure as well as a lakehouse or things like that, I can imagine that there are, if I'm talking about a software catalog where a team is ordering fabric enablement, meaning I want to do fabric, and then they can check what do they want. Do they want only a simple workspace for trying this out, that out? Do they need multiple workspaces assigned to blah, blah, blah? It's this Terraform thingy allows me to create scripts and using these scripts to create everything they requested. So, and of course, they can do it on their own because if they have this workspace that is Fabric enabled, but deploying provisioning teams with a given set of items, I, I love the idea. So, not just having a workspace, everything is set up, layout, blah, 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 and they are ready to roll.
Oh,
This,
okay.
this is why I like that.
Now I understand. But just to clarify, so if I'm a business analyst or if I'm Power BI data analyst, this feature probably won't be my favorite one, right? But
So
for someone who is admin or people, person who does that kind of stuff, for them
so
it's huge.
so this is so as always, it depends. If I want to build things, if I'm a business analyst with a Power BI background or a data engineer with some Python background, I do not care about this thingy at all. I do not care how this lakehouse came into existence, how my semantic model came into existence, or whatever. I do not care.
Okay, okay, I see. So Terraform is your, let's say, the first announcement that caught your attention.
Yes, maybe the second. I do not exactly know but this is one of the announcements that got me really excited because owning the platform means I can automate things a lot.
Okay, okay, fair enough,
So,
fair enough.
but what is your first thingy that your it started your feet dancing?
You don't want to see me dancing, definitely.
Yeah, just the feet. I'm just talking
That's
about the
something
feet.
between comedy and tragedy.
Oh,
So, but yeah, uh, yeah. My first is One Lake Security. Maybe because it was for so long, like it's here, it's here, it's almost here, it's almost there, and now it looks it's all again. It's almost finally there, so it's still not available. People can sign up. There is a special form. Maybe I can share the link later. So there is a special form where people can sign up and join the testing phase. But basically, uh, why I think this is a big thing, yeah, because so far, uh, depending on which workloads in Fabric you were using or you wanted to use, you had to define security rules in every single place in all of these different places. So, for example, if you wanted to use a lake house, there was no possibility to implement row level security or column level security in the lake house in Spark. If you wanted to use warehouse, you could do that. So you could implement column level security, row level security, object level security by writing T-SQL. But if you define it there and then you use this data in the semantic model, again, you need to implement row level security in the semantic model. So there are, you see, multiple places, like you are not 100% sure what's going to happen, and will your data be secure if it goes somewhere, let's say, outside of the scope and the path that you thought it will go. But with one less security, the idea is, okay, you set security rules directly on the data, so it's not relevant to any specific engine. You set it on the data, so on the delta table level, and then whoever touches that delta table, doesn't matter if it's a Spark engine, if it's a SQL, or if it's Custo or Power BI, these security rules will be propagated downstream to, and these security rules will be applied no matter which engine or which workload you use in Fabric. That's why I think it will make life easier when securing the data.
I have to admit that, let's say, have seen it working, and I already applied for become a member of this preview, and it's an absolutely game changer, as you mentioned, because security is not defined in the lakehouse, it's not defined on the semantic model, it's defined in the one and only one lake. And everything that is consuming things from this one lake, assuming it's a delta table, will inherit this security. And this is really, really epic. Considering more advanced data architectures like a data mesh, this is absolutely a game changer.
Okay, so I'm happy that you are. Let me just make this a little bit different. Okay, like this. So I want to capture our thoughts,
Whoa,
and I started this out of blue without any consultation. I wanted just to capture our thoughts and put here as our favorites from Fabcon, so that people who are watching uh, this stream or who are watching recording afterwards, they don't need to listen to our sometimes, yeah, maybe
yeah,
stupid jokes and so on, but they can see on their screens what we were talking about. If you don't mind, I would
absolutely.
keep. Okay.
So the only thing is, uh, um, how how do you assume that our jokes are stupid? I consider our jokes brilliant. Most likely, Cordula, my wife, has a different opinion, but I consider our jokes brilliant. So,
Yeah, between us, I was referring to your jokes, but it's easier to
ah,
say
yeah,
our
I see.
jokes. So
So,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
I understand. So this means you, my friend, and Cordula, my wife, have the same opinion about my jokes. This is
That already makes two of us. So, and I'm not sure if the audience is polite enough or not. So, yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
we will see. So we will see. I will send you a recording where I have proof. Someone was stating that my jokes are funny. I have a recording of that. Cordula was mentioning that maybe this is because he's a friend of mine as well. So, nevertheless.
You see,
Oh,
that's your real friend. I'm not your real friend.
okay, okay, okay. So, so then my next thingy that also gets me excited is maybe also not that great as one leg security, and maybe it's also for a limited audience. It's the command line interface that is now available for the Fabric command line interface, and this is also something that will eat up a lot of my investigation the next weeks, because now I have an easy command line where I can easily ask or perform things, from assigning a workspace to a different capacity, creating a workspace, list all workspaces, and all these things can run from a command line. So basically, and what is even more epic is that I can create scripts. Let's say from an epic level 0 to 3, it is I can create scripts, epic level 1, but epic level 3, it runs out of the box in my terminal window, meaning on my MacBook as well. And so, yes, now it's revealed I am on the darker side, and no, you don't have to make your jokes.
I still love you. I still love you. That's what I
Yeah,
wanted to say.
I was hoping that you mentioned that, and it is running out of the box on my MacBook. Installation was easily. Authentication is easy. Multiple types of authentication is provided. So this means I can create my scripts, and if I get some questions, regarding can you please do this or do that, or who is has access to this workspace, or what workspaces this user can access. I can do this with my command line interface. It takes some thinking, but this is a new, let's say, dimension for administer the Fabric tenant.
Yeah, I'm looking at this list, and if I didn't know you and looking at your top two features, I would say you are a no-code guy, right?
So I am an absolutely no code. What did you say? No, I am absolutely. So I am in the code first party.
Yeah, that's obvious. That's obvious. That's obvious. I'm even more looking forward to reading your blog because yeah, I know almost nothing about Terraform and yeah, programming with a command line interface. Definitely. So I'm really looking forward to learning something new about that.
Yeah, but if you use PySpark notebooks, you are you are just one step away, really small step away, um, using command line interface because it's more or less Python. It's not
Ah,
power.
okay. So
It's
I'm
not
just
PowerShell.
using Python from a different environment. I'm not
Yes,
writing it in a
exactly.
notebook.
Exactly.
Okay. Okay. Ah, but it's Python. Okay. Good to know. Good to know. Okay. Okay. I think I will stick with semantic link then. But yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. That's interesting. That's interesting. Anything else you have to add about command line interface feature?
Did I mention that is if I did not mention that I consider it epic, then then it's epic.
Okay. Yeah. You didn't mention it at least for last 2 minutes. So
Okay, so then it's
that
epic.
doesn't count. Yeah. Okay. Amazing. 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 Okay. Then my number two, or let's say, I was hesitant if this is number two or not, but I'll stick with that. It's how it's called. Let me check the full right name. Auto scale billing for Spark. I'm not sure if you looked at that one, but I think it's uh, moving serverless through the back door, or we'll see if it's just a back door. But I'm not sure if we are just witnessing the rise of serverless compute in Fabric. Because yeah, just to explain for maybe for someone who didn't pay attention to this new feature is yeah, basically with auto scale billing, when you turn on this feature, it's turn off by default. But if you turn it on, so what will happen is that for example, if you have some Spark job that requires a lot of resources, you can run it on a serverless base, so it doesn't consume anything from your capacity, from your Fabric capacity, uh, and it's built in as pay-as-you-go option. So essentially, that's a good idea if you have just a few things that are really resource expensive, and you don't want necessarily to disrupt Fabric capacity by running those let's say complex things that you have with Spark. You can turn this on, this pay as you go for running these for like, I don't know, 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 15 minutes, no matter how long does it take. Pay as you go for that, and you leave your capacity untouched for uh, your brilliant users doing their amazing stuff with the semantic model refreshes and everything else. So I consider it big, not necessarily because it's Spark. But today it's Spark, and we had serverless in Synapse. So maybe in the future, this is maybe just a beginning. I don't know. But I like to have an option to, like scale out some of the workloads and spinning up those serverless things and paying just for those particular tasks. I think it makes sense. It makes sense in a lot of scenarios. So I'm very curious to see how this approach will develop over time. That's how I see it.
I think this auto scale Spark is also epic because because if I can totally remove CU consumption from my fabric capacity, assuming if I have a workload that is tremendously high, so that my interactive query sets or whatever or other activities are throttled. And if this high workload is only appears once a month, I can use this for, let's say, I pay once a month this workload, pay as you go. I have the capability to do this running notebooks or whatsoever on Spark. And then I can use a smaller capacity to have the day-to-day usage.
Hmm.
So this is something that I'm also very interested how this will evolve.
Yeah. And another thing, while we are talking, so as far as if I understood correctly, with this feature, there is no bursting smoothing, so you don't need to care what is going to happen in next 24 hours.
Exactly.
As long as it runs, once it's done, you pay for that amount of time, and that's it.
Yeah,
Game
but
over. Yeah.
game over. Yes. Uh, um, so this is cool because I can keep my CUs fresh and untouched. But maybe before you turn it on, you should have an idea what does it mean if I have pay as you go. So this can be, let's say, more than €1 per
Yes.
day. Yes.
And it's
So
probably going to be.
yes. So please, this is I consider this another great epic thingy. But if I own the capacity, if I'm a capacity owner, I should be a little bit aware that enabling this feature also means there will be extra costs that maybe will not be smoothed out over the next 2 minutes, 24 hours, or whatever. So handle with care.
Yes, yes, handle with care. Handle with care. I mean, this needs to be tested properly, definitely. But conceptually, I like the idea of having
Wow,
this
this
option
is
to, to spin up some serverless workloads. They are just you don't pay for any capacity. They are here for you as long as you have this task to complete, and that's it. So I like the idea.
absolutely, absolutely. So and so another great feature, and maybe ho- maybe we should, let's say, spend the last 10 minutes to rearrange these features, providing an overall ranking, maybe. Um, who knows?
Yeah, that's a good idea. I love that. Maybe we can also ask the audience to vote and just to
For
see what
example,
what what they are feeling.
and maybe the audience will tell us also, whoa, both of you forgot this and that, and then we realize we forgot this
Yeah,
and that.
I know. They will tell you forgot that Copilot will be available for all capacities.
Yeah.
I don't care about that personally. I don't know about you, but
Different story. Copilot is a different story. Um, but my next thingy is the Spark profiles, meaning I can now configure as my Spark whatsoever as write intensive, read intensive, and a mixture of that.
how it's called? Sorry.
It's called somehow. Uh, it's called, please forgive me, optimization default Spark profiles.
Oh, okay. I'm all ears.
So this means I can consider or can configure a capacity, for example, using this Spark profile and meaning write intensive. For example, all this data engineering thingy um, is write intensive. And then I have something that is optimized for reading things like direct link semantic models. And if I split this across the two capacities, then I can also imagine that there's a data engineering team providing all their data engineering magic for different teams because not all teams have a data engineer, a semantic modeler, a DAX specialist, a data visualization, which or things like that. So I can now enable these Spark profiles, and then my writing will become faster, or the other way around, my reading will become faster. And faster always means saving compute units.
Yeah. So it's like having profiles on coffee machine. You like double espresso, and I like, I don't know, cafe latte.
Exactly. But for me, it's the cafe americano. But this is
I
a
remember
detail.
that. Okay.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, I see.
Actually,
Do you maybe know, is it defined on a workspace level or something differently? I
it's
honestly,
basically
I haven't read about that yet.
so basically it is on the workspace level, and for this reason, it doesn't make sense if I have workspace. So, but it's defined on the workspace level.
Okay, awesome, awesome. This is also interesting. So lot of innovations related to Spark, right? Do we need warehouse?
What is this warehouse thingy? What is this warehouse? Uh,
It's SQL Lake House.
ah,
Yeah, I mean, no, just kidding. I'm just kidding. But I see a lot of improvements in regards to Spark. That's what I'm seeing at looking at this list, our list that we compiled so far. But yeah, I know that there were also some announcements around warehousing, especially for people who consider migrating from other platforms, other Microsoft platforms. I also saw that Open Row Set function is now supported finally, so that people who are on Synapse, for example, now they can simply lift and shift those queries with the
so
Open Row Set function.
I'm also have to admit that after our conversation this morning, I am, let's say, you have leveled up my excitement about this warehouse from 0.5
To
to
zero point
0.
0.6.
No. It was very important aspects you mentioned. So now I would say I'm warehouse 0.9.
Oh, okay, okay. I'll do my best that you finish up with the one before we are
Ah,
done.
well, you should aim for a 2.5 because 0 to 5.
Okay, at least, yeah, at least somewhere in the middle. Okay, I get it. Ha! But I can't promise that, to be honest.
Yeah, because I'm also, let's say, resilient.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, okay, then my next one, I'm somehow split between materialized views in Spark in Lakehouse and user data functions. But let me go with user data functions. Okay, so I'll go with user data functions. Yeah, whenever there is a possibility to save some effort and then work, I'm a big fan of those features. And then yeah, user data functions is basically the new item in Fabric, where you can encapsulate various types of logic and then reuse that across multiple workloads, multiple lake houses, multiple workspaces, and so on. Still a lot of limitations, but it's just in preview now. But I also have like solid expectations of this one. So I think that this can be easily one of the bigger announcements from this FabCon, uh, once people start implementing this in real life. Because I think whenever you have like a possibility to customize something, there will be a lot of creative solutions. So yeah, I'm looking forward to see what will different people come up with, and how this can be reused across multiple workloads. That's why I'll put user data functions instead of materialized views at this moment. Yeah.
So, and this, you will never ever add materialized views to this list, but this is a different story.
Aha. Okay.
Aha. So, what you said is, I also love this user data functions thingy because it allows me to create functions, meaning it will be reusable. And if I have more than one person who is developing something, then it's likely that this function or that function can be used by a different person in a different context, but whatever this function is doing. And now, if I have, let's say, a library or a repository for my data functions that then can be shared with other developers across teams, this is probably a cost saver as well, because why should I do this DAX measure again and again and again? So, of course, we're not talking about DAX measures, we're talking about user
But
data functions.
generally, any logic that you are implementing can become reusable. Yeah.
Yes. So
Yeah.
this is cool.
Amazing. Yeah. You have anything else?
Yes. So this is why I mentioned that you will not add materialized views in the lakehouse to this list, because now I add this materialized views.
Oh, okay. That's the first one we, let's say, agree on that we it should be on the list.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Um, this reason is simple. Um, because um, if this one copy promise will be true, has to be true, then it is very likely that different teams have different needs. And materialized views, of course, create a copy of data, but I can create a view, a join that then is materialized as a delta table. And when data is added to one of the involved tables, or even if it's just one table, this data will be written automatically. So development effort is reduced, and I still can use my direct lake without
That's yeah, yeah.
without
Without
falling
falling
back
back.
to direct query. So materialized views is
Yeah,
super duper cool.
persistent object. Yeah, yeah. They're cool. They're cool. They're cool. Yeah. So if you don't mind, I put both names for this
Sure,
feature.
absolutely. So, but then you can add my name to all the things you also mentioned. It's just about the level of excitement, and so, and maybe you started this by mentioning Terraform, forcing me to say this. Most likely, hey Bernard.
Hola,
Um,
Bernat. Hola.
oh yes, of course, hola. Uh, and so maybe we should agree on, however, we could try if it's possible to rank this or not. I I have difficulties to rank this because they are targeting different
Yes.
user groups, the developer, the fabric, tenant,
Admins.
server, admins, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree. Agree. It's hard. It's hard to be in everyone's shoes. Let's put
Absolutely.
it that way. Yeah. 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 Okay. I have two more, and I will pack them into one because it's related to direct lake. Both are related to direct lake. So the first is that you can combine multiple one lake data sources in the same direct lake semantic model. So direct lake models, multiple one lake sources. I consider this probably will open the door to uh, various solutions. So previously you couldn't combine data from two lake houses or two warehouses or lake house and warehouse. When you deal just with lake houses, it was not an issue. It was not a big deal because you create a shortcut to another lake house. You have this data inside one lake house, and that's fine. But if you have a warehouse, you can't create shortcut to a warehouse. So I think for people who were combining or using warehouse uh, or combining lake houses and warehouses as part of their fabric architecture, I think this one can be a big deal. So that's why I put it. It's not definitely somewhere in the top, but I think it will solve some challenges for those people um, who were using both lake houses and warehouses for building direct lake models. So we are talking about direct lake models here. And another one is similar to this is possibility to work with direct lake semantic models in uh, Power BI desktop. And yeah, let's say that's mine number 4.
So I think this direct lake, multiple one lake sources, blah blah blah, will challenge us to rethink our understanding of a composite model, because I think this will become cool. So, and what does this mean if I have multiple one lake sources that are spread about across different capacities. How does it work? Do I have distributed compute or things like, who knows? But I think it will impact our at least my understanding of a composite model.
Yeah, yeah.
What is a variable item thing?
Ah, okay, yeah. Yeah, that's a great question, Bernard. I was creating let's say, top list of the features. Variable item is on my top list, but it's not in top four so far. Uh, yeah. Is it any good? I mean, honestly, I can't tell you because I haven't dig deep into it. I've just read about it. So conceptually it's similar to user data functions in terms that you can reuse the logic that is defined at a certain central place. So as far as I read in documentation, it allows you to define different variables and their values, and then you can reuse these variables across multiple workloads, like pipelines. For example, you define variables for, I don't know, development environment, then you define different set of parameters for, like, I don't know, connecting to another server or another database in test or production. So across pipelines, across I'm not sure if it's supported for notebooks. As far as I read, I think it is. But essentially the idea is to reuse the variables across the entire fabric ecosystem. Yeah.
So now I want so now
Go,
I now
go, go, Yash, go. Yeah, you got it.
so I just want to say something about Bernard's question regarding F2, and maybe also answering the question from Yash regarding Copilot required F64. So currently it is required F64, but this will be will this will change um, in the next couple of days, weeks, maybe months, because it was announced that Copilot now can be used with any F capacity, and it's probably um, currently rolling out. So maybe it will hit your tenant the next days, weeks. It can take some time. So, and now I'm wondering about the question, does it make sense to use Copilot in F2? I have no idea. And of course, as always, I have to pay a price. And for example, if I am a developer and can ask my developer F2 Copilot while I'm developing against an F8, F16, then maybe my perfect, or my, let's say, my my productivity will grow a lot, because if I'm not that much experienced, I need Copilot to get things done faster. And if I can use my own F2, maybe then it will be a great deal. So, and yes, of course, it makes sense to check what do I use my, how does Copilot burn my CUs? Of course, this makes sense, but to have to look at it, and this should be also enabled with care. So there of course there was a reason why Microsoft first thought was it requires an F64 because doing my data engineering consumes CU and asking Copilot, meaning to how to write this or do that, also requires CU. And to not affecting my data engineering things, there was this requirement having an F64 so that both workloads do not interfere. And now, of course, if I do my F60, my data engineering with F2 and ask the same um, F2 capacity things, then of course it can happen that probably I have to wait until the next day or next week because all my capacity CUs are burned. Of course, I have to pay a price.
Yeah, performance wise, I think I think I Kurt Buller wrote about that because he's testing a lot of this Copilot stuff. I think he wrote recently that it consumes less units than previously, so they probably managed to improve the performance in the background. That's something that I think it was Kurt. So sorry, Kurt, if it wasn't you, but I think he wrote a few days ago that in terms of optimization, Copilot looks much better now than a few months ago or something like that. But yeah, this needs to be tested with care, as you said. I totally agree. I totally agree. Yeah. And when you mentioned copilots, I have another one. Sorry. Uh, data agents. Data agents, former AI skills, also known as AI skill items. Yeah. What I will do, I'll grab the link to Chris Webb's blog post from a few days ago, where you can see he tested data agents against the semantic model, Power BI semantic model. So what's the idea? Previously, just to provide a little more of a context, previously when this item was called AI skill, you could basically use it to provide instructions, create basically an AI agent, then provide instructions to this agent how to retrieve the data from your Fabric lakehouse or warehouse. But it was limited to SQL only, so it's been generated just SQL in the background, and now it's expanded to KQL and DAX. So basically, you can use it against your KQL database and against Power BI semantic models. And Chris did some interesting tests, like asking AI agent to provide um, basket analysis or something like that. I forgot, but I will share the link. And he mentioned that it did a pretty decent job in that. So it's definitely still a work in progress. And please, as for any AI related feature, take all the results and all the output with grain of salt and double check. That's 100% valid still. But I think this one also has a potential to uh, yeah help people maybe better understand data, or maybe also learn something, because when you ask a natural question, you get the results and you can see all the steps that the agent applied to get to these results. So like generating 3 4 5 different DAX queries, and then you can see, okay, this DAX does that, or this DAX statement does this, or and so on. So yeah, I think this one can also be interesting. And while I'm talking, and I'm talking too much, just to grab this link that I mentioned.
Is Dragana in the background
Not yet.
holding up a little shield, telling you you're talking too much or what?
No, because yeah, she's telling me that every day. So
Ah,
I feel-
so I don't think that you are talking too much.
thanks, my friend. Thanks.
So but I want to add something about this data agent thingy. So I guess also we are witnessing, and finally it started with, please forgive me, all my Microsoft friends, renaming it. So renaming AI skill to data agent was one of the better renamings. Uh, I love that. And I think we are at the beginning of this data agent. Maybe who knows what a data agent will become in 1 year or 2 years or 6 months, who knows? Maybe um, maybe a data agent will become something um, that can be added to a report inside an app or inside an org app. And then there is this data agent that is telling me, hey, and then this data agent is telling me in my org app without heavy workloads. And maybe, who knows?
But looks promising. You agree, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What you said, Yash, it's not just um, so it's, let's say I create an item using natural language. I refine it, changing my prompts and having a conversation, and then I say, "Whoa, this is epic!" And now what? Where can I use this data agent? Probably, hopefully, sometime in the future, inside an org app.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's an item. It's an item, so you can share it with your colleague.
Yes,
So like any other item in Fabric.
yes. So super duper cool.
Yeah.
And
Pozdrav za mog druga Petra. Sorry, that was in Serbian for my friend from Klagenfurt.
hey, um,
Now you need to greet him also in Serbian, Tom.
pardon what?
You need also to greet him in Serbian.
Well done.
Yeah.
So
Well done, well done. Your Serbian is getting better and better.
yes.
I'm
So
proud of you.
and I can do it with both hands. So I speak Serbian with both hands. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. So better and better. So one aspect maybe, and then we have a list of 10, and maybe then we are also done.
Hmm.
What I like is that mirroring now is supporting CSV files, meaning I can easily, without any things, um, I can do this. I can mirror my CSV files um, that are somewhere in a folder. I say mirror this folder, and then I have a delta lake table. Um, and this is also cool because we have more than one CSV file that needs to be somehow uh, somehow be transformed and become a delta table. And now this is effortless using mirroring of CSV files.
Yeah, that's also interesting. Yeah. We talked in private, not during the stream, about open mirroring. I think it was announced maybe in last Ignite or something like that. So
Yes.
this one is also okay.
Open mirroring is epic.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe we can cover this as a special topic in one of the next streams.
But why do you want? So, Yash, a question. Why do you want to mirror your BigQuery data, and why do you not just use a shortcut? Just wondering, is it because of uh, I'm wondering.
Egress costs.
Yeah, maybe egress costs, but this can egress costs can be uh, reduced a little by having some kind of um, caching.
Cache. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean, the good thing in Fabric, the good and the bad thing at the same time is that you can do
Yeah,
multiple.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, but yeah, that's good for us consultants, I would say.
Yes, exactly.
People can easily fuck up things, and yeah. Pardon my French. Sorry. Yeah. So, are we voting for the top list, or are we leave it like this?
So if we want to have a top list, meaning from this 10, what is the most important thingy, then I would vote for giving this one leg security has to be the top one.
Okay, I'll rearrange later.
Then I would say my my opinion.
No, no, no. Look, let's do it this way. We give 1 to 10 points for each of these bullet points here,
Okay, so
and then we sum, and that's it.
yes, so then Tom one leg security 10 points.
Okay, let me just make it like this, and then
Maybe you can trans.
I'm
Maybe
good. I'm very good at PowerPoint. I think you
yeah.
can
I
tell
was
that.
yes. I was considering that.
Okay, so
So I was thinking that you copy and paste the list into
Excel.
a table,
Okay.
but
Ah, oh yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. Makes sense. Now I get it.
who
Now I get
knows?
it.
Who knows? Who knows? Not
You're even
sure.
better at PowerPoint than me. So,
Yeah, but
uh,
maybe we just can use Excel.
no, 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 no. So let's do it this way. So feature, Tom, Nicola, audience. There are no prizes for audience, but yeah. So I'll put it like this: Terraform. Let's make it a little bit bigger. One lake, then CLI.
So are you assuming that it doesn't work if you copy multiple?
I don't know. I'm not sure
So,
how it will.
not sure about this Windows machines,
Yeah,
but
let's try. Let's try.
PowerPoint on Mac has this Control Z thingy. Just saying.
Let's see. Let's see. Ah,
So
no, it puts it in one
but
cell.
now we are good. Look, there is also this Control Z.
Yeah, maybe I'm not that good in PowerPoint as I thought. So I'll do it. I'll do it the old way. Okay. So while I'm doing this nice and very interesting work, maybe you told me one lake security is 10 points, right?
Yes.
Okay. Then,
Data Agents 9.
oh wow. Okay. Wait. Dark lake. Then we have data agents 9. Fine. Okay. Mirroring or something else.
So provide the Fabric CLI an 8.
Okay.
The Terraform a 7.
Mm-hmm.
Autoscale Billing Spark 6.
Mm-hmm.
Direct Lake Models 5.
Hmm.
mirroring for CSV files 4, default Spark profiles 3, 1, and materialized views 2.
Materialized views too.
Yes.
Okay. One lake security for me. Then auto scale. Then user data functions. Materialized views. Mirroring. I'm not excited about these two because probably I will not use them. So sorry about that.
So okay,
So
okay, but you cannot you cannot cumulate. So you have to at least you cannot use 1 and 2. You're perfect.
okay, audience.
You just have to type Terraform. So if you want, if you are still there, if you're not fall asleep because me talking slowly, um, just type something into the chat. If not, we will burn this column. Not sure if PowerPoint supports deleting columns from a table, but
Not yet. Maybe
oh,
in next release,
okay, okay,
or maybe it's just in public preview now. I don't know.
okay. We will see later.
Okay, I see, I don't see any comments. So let's let's announce the winner. That's One Lake Security. I think it's obvious winner.
And guess what? Autoscale billing Spark is place 2.
Okay, that's also interesting.
Yes, yes, Yash, Ken is best, as always.
Yeah, 10 is best. Absolutely.
So otherwise, so but now you are because we already did the summing. At least I tried to sum up some values without using Excel or a machine. So it cannot be interfered with the audience right now.
Yeah, but I think One Lake Security definitely wins. Yeah, Yash says it's clear 10 for me.
So
What is clear 10? Is it mirroring or something else?
Terraform or Fabric CLI.
Just to tell us the feature. Yeah, while we are waiting, so slowly wrapping up, my friend, right? Because I need to prepare to watch Barca's game, which starts soon. There is no
Yeah,
excuse to skip that. Uh, so slowly wrapping up. It was a great stream, I think,
yeah,
and
yeah.
yeah, once
Same, same.
again, I feel blessed to work with this with you, and
And so,
again
my
learned a lot. Learned a lot from your features, from your favorite features that went under my radar. So absolutely, no, no, no. I'm honest. I'm honest. So that something. I mean, we cannot read and understand everything because yeah,
of
there are
course.
so many things. So some of those things went under my radar. So thanks for introducing those features. Yeah, I have a better feeling now about it.
Yeah, but so this is we basically we can read everything, and but then we have to decide, do I care? And this, if I say, do I care about this feature? And the answer is no. This doesn't mean that the feature is not important. It only means that I am not interested in this feature because of the tasks that I have to tackle each and every day. And because we have to tackle different tasks all the time, it's difficult. So,
Yeah, totally,
um,
totally makes sense. Totally makes sense. So since only Yash responded, Yashi's audience, and thanks for response. Yeah, thanks for the response.
Yes.
For everyone else, thank you so much for joining us and hanging out. Hope it was interesting, and also, yeah, you got some better understanding of all these announcements from recently finished Fabric conference. Stay tuned. We will arrange another stream very soon, and yeah, we'll continue our
Yes.
data ramblings and data talks.
Yes, absolutely. And I want, so what Nicola mentioned, we will have a next episode very soon. But besides that, there will be a similar episode. Hopefully, it's not for after FabCon Europe happening in September. So, because I think there will be another bunch of epic announcements, and I was considering this great. It was a great learning for me as well because for a couple of reasons, when I read through all these announcements, I focus on things that are in my, let's say, immediate focus because I care a lot about managing the tenant and things like that. And now I know a lot more about other things.
Same here, same here. So thanks everyone. Have a great rest of the day, evening, whatever, and we'll see you soon again.
Yes.